early morning on the western hillside, the first rays of sunlight cut through layers of trees. This area has long been plagued by wild boars tearing up pasture land and farmers' paths down in the valley below. That's why today's mission begins fully prepared. We're equipped with modern tools, GPS tracking on an iPhone 17 Pro Max to follow movement routes, and a Ford Raptor parked at the base of the hill, ready for transport before and after the hunt. No one knows exactly what the day will bring, but in steep terrain and dense forest, situations can change in a heartbeat. Out here, every decision directly affects the grasslands and the livelihoods of families living in the valley below. No sooner had we stepped onto the first slope than the ground began to tremble. A large sounder of wild boar suddenly burst across the edge of the hillside. The team immediately fanned out, cutting off their downhill escape and setting up a close-range block. Everything unfolded exactly as planned, fast control, clean shots, and several boars dropped before they could react. Panic rippled through the rest of the sounder. They scattered, plunging headlong into thick brush and charging uphill, triggering the next intense phase of pursuit. The goal was never reckless chasing. It was timely interception, preventing the herd from spilling into cultivated land below. Following freshly torn soil and newly carved trails, we split into two groups using a flanking strategy. In a more open stretch of forest, a lone boar broke away, struggling uphill. The distance closed to around 40-50 meters, forcing the shooter to carefully calculate bullet drop and drift. In terrain like this, every movement is deliberate, designed to end the situation quickly while minimizing risk to both the team and the surrounding area. Just minutes later, a signal came from teammates on the southern side of the slope. On the iPhone map, they were just over 200 meters away. Another boar had tried slipping into a rocky crevice, but was dropped cleanly with a single well-placed shot. Early coordination and smart positioning allowed us to control every escape route, greatly reducing the chance of boars reaching the farms below. We pushed deeper along the hillside. About 10 minutes in, the sharp, aggressive barking of the hunting dogs echoed through the forest. They had picked up the scent of a boar running a wide line along the slope. The team moved fast but stayed disciplined, maintaining safe distance while watching for any sudden turn or charge. The dogs pressured it toward the edge of the hill, stripping away its terrain advantage and forcing it into a straight line right into our prepared ambush. Another serious threat eliminated cleanly and decisively. At the same time, around a tight bend between two massive boulders, another huge black shape was stirred by the gunfire. It spun and charged straight toward my position, a classic, extremely dangerous response when a boar is cornered. There was no time to retreat. The shot stopped its momentum, though it still tried to force its way deeper into the brush despite being wounded. The team tracked the blood trail it left behind. After nearly 30 meters, we found it lying motionless beneath thick undergrowth. A clear reminder, a face-to-face encounter with a wild boar is never safe. That's why control must be executed with structure and discipline, not rushed reactions in dangerous terrain. We swept the surrounding area to ensure no remaining animals were nearby, then decided to return along the trail. Yet near the final stretch of the hillside path, a last lone boar broke into a full sprint across a wide open clearing. From higher ground, we had a clear red on its movement. The final situation was resolved safely. This hillside operation didn't just mark the end of a long day, it eased long-term pressure on grazing land and protected the livelihoods of families in the valley. When done correctly, this isn't just hunting, it's responsible land management. The entire team conducted a final sweep, logged everything in compliance with U.S. legal hunting regulations, then returned to the rally point. Gear was loaded onto the Ford Raptor, and we left the forest under the fading evening light. If you found this journey valuable and want to follow future hunts, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Hills of Turkey. As the first light of dawn broke over the ridgeline, our team gathered quickly to lay out the day's battle plan, a mission to stop the wild boars that had ravaged this land under the cover of night. These beasts had been tearing through fields and striking fear into the hearts of villagers, robbing them of sleep and threatening their upcoming harvest. Today, we weren't just hunters, we were protectors. Every step we took along that frosty hillside, every sharp glance through the scope carried one purpose: to track, contain, and eliminate the threat before more damage could be done. With our boots firm in the earth and our spirits locked in, the hunt began. This was no ordinary chase. This was war man versus beast. Dawn was breaking over the rocky hills of Hillside, Turkey. We tightened our gear, checked our weapons, and made sure our supplies were locked in, fully prepared for a long day of intense encounters across two completely different terrains. Mist still clung to the leaves as we moved forward, each firm step cutting through the silence like a warning. It was as if our presence stirred something from its winter slumber. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw John glance at me, then we both caught it. A shadow moving just ahead. Without hesitation, John steadied his rifle. Aim. Hold breath. Fire. Boom. The shot landed clean. The boar dropped instantly, crashing to the ground without a sound. That unexpected encounter felt like the land itself was greeting us, and it marked the beginning of what would be a promising hunt. We kept pressing forward along the hillside. By now, it was close to noon, the sun blazing down, the heat rising with every step. The wild boars were starting to show up in greater numbers. And then there they were. Across the slope, a whole group of them, lazily foraging without a care. My scope locked in on one target. Without hesitation, I gripped the rifle John handed me and pulled the trigger. Boom. A perfect shot. The boar dropped instantly, tumbling down the hillside like a sack of stone. The rest of the herd panicked, scattering wildly into the dense brush, disappearing into the cover of trees. And just like that, one shot, clean and precise, the moment was sealed. A flawless execution, backed by unwavering trust in my teammate. It wasn't just a hunt. It was a display of perfect coordination, timing, trust, and one bullet to tell the story. On the other side of the hill, James was having a rougher time. The wild boars there were cunning, using the terrain to their advantage, ducking behind thick brush and tree stumps like living shields. Every shot he took was blocked, wasted. The chase dragged on, tense and relentless. It wasn't until his third consecutive shot that the boar finally went down, crashing hard to the ground, an end to what felt like an endless pursuit. And just like that, the destruction was over. The threat was neutralized. With the boars gone, the crops could thrive again, and the villagers, after so many sleepless nights, could finally rest easy. After a short break to regain our strength, the team moved down toward the grassy fields at the base of the hill. This was the kind of terrain where visibility was clear, perfect for tracking, stalking, and exploiting the natural habits of the prey. Here, patience and positioning were the keys. The hunt had entered a new phase, a shift in ground, a shift in tactics, but the mission remained the same: control, precision, and dominance over the wild. Clever as they are, wild boars are still creatures of habit, and that familiar trail they rely on became their fatal weakness. Suddenly, one burst out from the tree-line, charging headfirst toward the open field. 3 rapid shots rang out. Gun smoke mixed with the barking of the hounds, and then the beast staggered and fell. A heart-pounding chase, sealed by a perfectly executed takedown. If you enjoyed that clean finish, don't forget to drop us a like. We pushed farther down into the wide, open field below, and luck was on our side. A large, heavy boar was making a desperate run across the grassland, trying to escape. My instincts kicked in. Heart pounding, eyes locked in. I tracked its every move and squeezed the trigger, delivering a burst of hot lead straight toward our prize. 3 shots rang out. The boar dropped with a thud, bringing an end to a thrilling chase that tested every nerve. That moment right there, it wasn't just about firepower. It was the result of honed instincts, sharp reflexes, and years of disciplined training. When it comes to seasoned hunters like us, no target gets away. The team moved out to the open field, preparing to head back. In the quiet calm at the base of the hill, the hunting dogs suddenly erupted into a focused chase. From years of experience, I knew something was about to happen. Quickly, I raised my rifle and went straight ahead. Right at the forest's edge, the boar dashed out trying to make its escape. It was about to run straight into a well-placed ambush, and unlucky, I was that shooter. The second shot rang out, and the boar went down completely. A long, intense day finally came to an end, sealed by a full victory for our hunting team. Today's success was the result of seamless teamwork, patience, and relentless determination. It wasn't just about hunting skills. This experience taught us a valuable lesson. In every mission, patience, keen observation, and effective coordination are the keys to protecting what matters most and achieving complete success. If you love thrilling hunts and want to join us on future adventures, don't forget to hit that like button and share. On an off-road vehicle, the team moved toward the fields where the aggressive creatures had made their lair. Everything had been prepared in advance, from tactical plans to weapons and gear. They were ready for an uncompromising battle. The team quickly spread out across different positions to ambush. From a distance, James heard the pounding footsteps of animals running at incredible speed. He immediately signaled the team to get into position. Just as predicted, two dark figures darted out. James was ready. He pulled the trigger. The bullet flew in sync with the boar's charge. In a split second, the first boar collapsed. A dangerous situation demanding lightning-fast reflexes was handled flawlessly. After this hard-earned first victory, the real hunt began, promising many more challenges ahead. At the edge of the field where Jack was lying in wait, chaos erupted. A whole herd of boars surged forward, ready to destroy the crops. Jack loaded his rifle and opened fire, but alone, he could only bring down one. A bitter setback, the team was too scattered, making coordination difficult in moments like this. Realizing the problem, the team quickly adjusted their tactics. Jack suggested pairing up. Instantly, this strategy proved effective. Their next target soon appeared. Jack signaled to his partner Kevin. With precision and speed, Kevin took the shot, bringing the beast down effortlessly. A flawless display of teamwork restored peace to the land, at least until the next threat emerged. On the other side, James and Mark were also working seamlessly together, sweeping through every corner of the rice field. Suddenly, a massive shadow burst out of the forest, dangerously close to Mark. Yet he showed no fear. With his rifle in hand, he delivered a perfect shot, felling the huge, muscular beast in an instant. The long hunt wore the team down. After a brief rest, while preparing to pack up, James spotted movement in the distance. Slowly raising his rifle, James held his breath, aimed, and fired. The sharp crack of the shot shattered the silence. The shadow fell motionless on the grass. Once again, James proved why he was the sharpest marksman of the team. His keen observation, focus, and lightning-fast reflexes secured another victory for the farmland. Each area was divided, and everyone was assigned a specific direction. Our gear, clothing, boots, rifles, radios was checked repeatedly to ensure nothing was overlooked. In my mind, there was only one thought: this threat must be stopped. As the first light of dawn broke, I was alone in the boat, gently paddling toward the swamp, which was believed to be the wild boar's hiding ground. My eyes continuously scanned every bush, every thicket along the shore, searching for any sign of the enemy. And then I spotted it, a wild boar, lying motionless near the water's edge. Suddenly, it must have heard something. The moment it tried to dart away, in an instant, the bullet struck, pinning it down before it could even make a move. That was the result of intense focus, quick reflexes, and precise shooting skills, honed through hundreds of trips. The thrill of my first success only made me more determined, moving deeper. I spotted another herd lying still by the shore. I held my breath and crept toward the prey, moving as quietly as possible. Just then, a gust of wind suddenly picked up, carrying my scent straight toward them. The entire herd jumped to their feet. The gunshot rang out immediately, but the bullet missed its mark. They had already bolted deep into the forest. That missed shot left a feeling of disappointment, but deep inside, I reminded myself not to let this failure shake my resolve. Putting the disappointment behind me, I paddled closer to the shore, my eyes scanning the surroundings until I spotted a daring boar nearby. Without a moment's hesitation, I raised my rifle and squeezed the trigger in one smooth motion. The enemy dropped with a single shot. If you found this action-packed, don't forget to leave us a like. As I examined the fresh tracks the boars had left on the damp earth, I made my decision. It was time to head ashore. I radioed my teammates to update them on the situation. It was time to bring the hounds into play. This was the moment our four-legged warriors would prove their worth. Not long after, the powerful barks of the hounds echoed through the air, leading us into the sparse forest. Following the relentless barking, we moved cautiously until we reached the spot where the dogs had cornered a massive boar. I chambered around, took a steady aim, and fired. The boar collapsed in a single decisive shot. Thanks to our seamless coordination, each target was swiftly neutralized. The hounds truly proved to be the bravest warriors on the team. Every step deeper into the forest, we never felt alone. Behind us stood the trust and hope of the entire village. Under the scorching midday sun, we took a break to rest and refuel. Experience told us that at this time, the wild boars would head toward waterholes to cool off. A plan was quickly formed. We moved out and took strategic positions around the large waterhole, ready for an ambush. Wild boars are incredibly cautious creatures. The moment they sense danger, they bolt. I tracked the moving shadows and squeezed off a series of shots, bringing a few of them down with pinpoint accuracy. Not long after, my teammate radioed in. Another herd was foraging at the edge of the forest. We quickly moved to intercept. Spying the enemy, I swiftly locked onto the target and squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out, and another boar went down. The rest of the herd scattered in panic. Sweat drenched my shirt, but thinking of the safety of the locals, all fatigue disappeared. As the afternoon slowly faded, we were preparing to pack up and head back when the signal from the hounds came through, leading David and me to a patch of dry grassland. David moved right behind me, ready to provide support. And there it was, a massive shadow hiding in the tall grass. Without hesitation, I chambered around and fired a precise shot, bringing it down before it even realized what was happening. Late in the afternoon, we loaded our trophies onto the Jeep Wrangler and slowly drove back. On the way, I pulled out my iPhone 16 to review the footage we had captured throughout the day.